What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here, coming at y'all with another 2 minute drill episode. Watching this, if you're watching this on YouTube, April 1st, 2021, Wednesday night for everyone streaming live on Twitch, man. Make sure to get your comments in during the show. We will address them live right here on the 2 minute drill, but we got to get right into it. We had two outstanding SEC Pro Days today from two SEC studs that we saw play this year. I mean, let's get right to it, right to the business down in Gainesville with Kyle Pitts, arguably one of the best tight end prospects we've had come out in some time. Dominant, probably could play a little bit of that big wide receiver position in the slot or on the outside. This kid is so versatile, and he's been setting the NFL draft world into an absolute frenzy this offseason. I mean, this kid has been just absolutely electric to say the least. I mean, and his pro day today did nothing to quiet that hype. For myself, Pitts is my number two overall prospect on my big board, right behind Trevor Lawrence. I know quarterback's the most important position, but Kyle Pitts is almost cannot miss at this tight end position, guys. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic, explosive, exciting. You can put whatever you want behind Kyle Pitts' name, and it fits. He was a 2020 consensus All-American this year, the John Mackey Award winner for the best tight end. He had over 100 catches this year, over 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns. And this was just in 3 years at Florida. And his first 2 years were kind of up and down just because of, I would say, the inconsistent quarterback play. He really didn't have much help in terms of quarterbacks. Well, when Felipe Franks goes down, Kyle Trask steps in, and outperforms anything anybody expected for Florida. And, you know, for Pitts, looking at what he did in his pro day, let's go ahead and get to it. Y'all know how we do this. The measurements 6'5, 245 for the big dude out of Florida, and that is just outstanding, guys. I mean, it's exactly pretty much what we expected, but it just confirms our belief that this is a big body guy with a lot of potential. And his wingspan, this is where it gets interesting. 83 and 3/8 inches. I mean, it's the largest for a wide receiver and or tight end in over 20 years, and breaks the record that was set by DK Metcalf last year. It's just outstanding. It shows that he can go up and get balls, and why he's so good at one-on-one coverage in jump ball situations. Then in the 40, a 4.44. And you look at that and you're like, man, that is flying for a 6'5, 250 tight end, wide receiver, whatever you want to call him. It confirms that he's athletic enough, has enough speed to be a matchup nightmare, that his hands come in at almost 11 inches. A vert 41 inches, not surprising. This kid has been one of the most dynamic one-on-one tight end receivers, whatever you want to put him at. And then the broad jump 11 feet, also outstanding. And, looking at all this, there weren't many questions about what Kyle Pitts was going to bring to an NFL team. Everyone's been saying that he might be the best overall prospect in the draft, right behind Lawrence. And coming into his pro day, I think he even outperformed some of the highest expectations and the biggest supporters for him, the staunchest supporters. He outperformed anything they could have put on him. He showed that he has elite speed for a guy his size, and it confirms the ability to be a true matchup nightmare. I mean, you look at linebackers, they're probably too slow to deal with his speed at 4.4, but also he's just as big or bigger than some linebackers, which makes him a double matchup nightmare if you dare put a linebacker on him. You put a safety or DB, I don't know many safeties that are going to be able to deal with his size, and I don't know many corners that are really going to want to deal with his size. The bench press was fine. I mean, I think he had over 20 reps or right around 20 reps. That's good with me. With those long arms, bench press is not going to be the best show of what kind of physicality, strength he has. And with those long arms, he's going to be able to keep defenders off of him in terms of press coverages and getting up in his grill on the line of scrimmage. And for me, he also showed that he has the elite athleticism with his vertical and broad jump. Not only is he 6'5", but he has hops. He can get up, get those jump balls, and it's going to make him an elite red zone threat. We already kind of predicted he was going to be an elite red zone threat. This just further confirms it. Looking at the advanced analytics, man, 0 drops this past season. He led the NCAA in deep catches and deep yards this season for tight ends. He was third in contested catches, and the average depth of his targets were over 13 yards down the field, which ranked him 4th in the country. And it shows that he's not just an underneath blocking tight end, but this guy can get up the field and be a deep ball tight end threat. And, for his pro comp, I've heard a lot of people say Shannon Sharp, but I don't think people remember Shannon Sharp wasn't that big. He was only 6'2", and coming out of college, he was only about 220, 215. He didn't play at that 250 that we see Pitts. He wasn't 6'5". I mean, I can see a similar, I guess, a skill set between Pitts and Shannon Sharp, but I think Pitts is much bigger and has even more potential than Shannon Sharp did coming out of Savannah State. I think the best pro comp, and I think he's probably better than this guy as of right now coming out into the draft, and that's Darren Waller for the Raiders. Long, big, athletic, physical, and can go up and he can win those one-on-one matchups. He's also a matchup nightmare. He ran a way quicker. He ran a very fast 40 for a tight end, just like Pitts. Shannon Sharp only ran, I think, a 4.6, if I remember right. And so I think Kyle Pitts is more athletic and bigger than Shannon Sharp was, but I think Waller is more of what you're going to see from him. And I think he might even have more potential than Waller. I think you're going to see that explosiveness, that production that we saw from Shannon Sharp with a Darren Waller size and matchup. And I think he's going to be used a lot like Waller is. And I think he's going to be a deadly, deadly red zone threat, man. This kid's going to be a problem. And if I'm the Jets, I'm sitting there at 2, and I'm like, man, if I don't fully believe, I mean, with the number 2 pick, if you're the Jets, you have to fully believe Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, or Matt Jones, or Trey Lance even is going to be the quarterback of the future. If you're not 1,000% sure, you have no weapons. You have no weapons. You let Robbie Anderson go last year. There's not a valid weapon on that offense. Why wouldn't you consider Kyle Pitts? I know the Falcons are at 4. Kyle Pitts said today he's had 2 or 3 meetings with the Falcons already. So if the Falcons are saying, okay, we have Julio, we have Ridley, we can get Pitts at tight end to go along with Matt Ryan as he's only, I think, 35, that would make the Falcons offense have one of the best, I guess, collection of talent on their offense. And so I think they have to look at him. I think the Dolphins are going to look at him really hard at 6. Because as great as Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, everyone is, I mean, how do you pass up a 6'5", 250 tight end, big wide receiver that runs a 4.4 and has all these athletic abilities and has shown production in college? I don't think you can. In my opinion, Pitts probably should be one of the first non-quarterbacks off the board in the 2021 draft. He's a potential franchise changer at the tight end wide receiver position, and I think he should be a really, really early candidate for Rookie of the Year in this draft class. And so moving on, man, we got to go to the other side of the ball. I love talking defense, and this was the guy who I don't think, if you're just an average fan, you won't recognize this guy immediately. But Jamin Davis, out of Kentucky, linebacker, he was one of my underrated mid to late round guys that I've been looking at. But, a lot of people have been saying, 3rd, 4th round. Some people say 6th, but it is changing as this draft process is going on. I mean, he's appeared in some big credentialed mock drafts as early as the late 1st round. The Browns apparently have been looking at him as a linebacker solution along with Owusu and Xavier Collins in them. I don't have him ranked above Collins, definitely probably not Jeremiah, but he's up there for me in terms of linebackers. You might not know his name, but this kid was a baller. He was a leader for this Kentucky defense and was one of the best linebackers in the country last year. Over 100 tackles, 4 for loss, had 1.5 sacks, 3 picks, took one back for a touchdown, and forced some fumbles. He was 7th in the country in total tackles. That was top 3 in the SEC. 10th in the country in assisted tackles, top 5 in the SEC, and 7th in the SEC in solo tackles. The kid's all over the place. He's not great in pass coverage, but he's an elite run defender because he's so athletic that he's always in the play. He plays sideline to sideline, and he always can chase down a play. And when that whistle blows, either this kid was in the tackle or he was on his way, and you could see him in the camera frame. And for the pro day results, 6'3" and a half, 234, man. The kid has perfect size that you want for an inside linebacker. He had a 42-inch vertical, guys. 42-inch vertical. In case you guys don't remember, Kyle Pitts was 41. This kid is an elite athlete. It would have been second best at the NFL Combine for last year. He had an 11-foot broad jump, and he ran a 4.41 on his first 40 attempt and then a 4.37 on his second. Listen, I get that there's going to be a little bit of, I guess, lying or, inflating of these 40 times because they're pro day times, and a lot of people have concerns about that. That's really impressive either way. I watched it. I could see a 4.4 type guy, whether it's 4.41, 4.43, whatever you want to say. He's right there. And he has some questions about him, though. Let's get to it. Every prospect, that's not, in the top 5 has some major questions about them. He's only started one full season. That has raised some concern for scouts. That's raised some concern for NFL teams. He made the most of his time, though, is what I would argue. A lot of teams are tapping him one of the best true middle linebackers. You look at someone like Xavier Collins. He can play inside, but he's probably going to project more as an outside. Same with Jeremiah Owusu. Same, Dylan Moses probably is a middle linebacker, but he has that injury history that, Jamin doesn't have. So a lot of people are looking at him as the number one true middle linebacker that really isn't going to play a lot of outside. He's going to be an inside backer, run stopper with a little bit of pass coverage because that's not what he excels at. He doesn't have a lot of experience in pass coverage. When you look at his snap breakdown in terms of like deep analytics, it's in the box. There's been some slot corner positions. There's been some drop back and coverage on the outside, but it is inside in the box for the majority of the time. And looking at a pro comp for him is really hard because he's so unique in what he does. Like I feel like he's athletic enough to play in coverage, but he just wasn't asked to at Kentucky. And so I really want to see how he develops his understanding of zone coverages, his understanding of reading the quarterback's eyes, making plays on the football in terms of interceptions. He had 3, but they were relatively easy interceptions thrown almost right to him, or it was just a tip ball or a bad placement by the quarterback. My pro comp, though, is Demario Davis, linebacker for the Saints. You look at both of them, solid tacklers, potential leaders of the defense. Davis is a leader of that Saints defense. Say what you want, but they also both have the athleticism and explosion to be a factor all over the field. Like I said earlier, they play sideline to sideline. They're plugging holes. They're chasing down running backs. They're chasing down receivers, quarterbacks. And whoever has the ball, that's where they're going. They're very disciplined in how they play. And that's why I kind of compare them. I mean, you look at what Jamin did. Only missed 11 tackles throughout all three seasons at Kentucky. That's outstanding for a guy who had over 100 tackles in 1 year to only miss 11 over his whole career. When he gets to the ball carrier, he gets their hands on him, he makes plays, and it's hard to teach a player how to do that. He plays with high football IQ, high athleticism, high aggression, high motor guy, and that's why I really like this kid. He has the potential to lead whatever defense he goes to in tackles when he gets that starting role. I think the Browns would be a great fit for him. You stick him into that defense with proven defensive leaders, and I think he's going to soak it up like a sponge. The Browns don't need a savior to come and step in middle linebacker. All they need is just someone to come in and contribute, and that is what you would get with Jamin Davis. So I think that'd be an interesting fit. You look at someone like the Dolphins. If he slots to the second round, could the Dolphins get him there? That would be interesting as well. I think this guy is going to fit into a lot of schemes. He's coachable, and he played for one of the best staffs in the country in college with that Stoop staff at Kentucky. Say what you want. Kentucky is a legit university with a legit staff. So I'm going to say that Jamin Davis is making a case for a late first round, early second round draft grade, but both of these guys killed their pro days. So, guys, that is a wrap on this 2-minute drill. If you're on Twitch right now, make sure to subscribe to our channel, man. The Bluebloods CFB. We appreciate it. Let us know your comments during the live episodes, 15, 25, 30 minutes each night, Monday through Friday, right here live on Twitch. On YouTube, these will go up Monday through Friday. Today, if you're watching on YouTube, April 1st, man. So appreciate y'all. Make sure to subscribe, like the video. As I said, once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, we're picking 5 of y'all to give a huge merch bundle giveaway for the Blue Bloods and the 2-minute drill. So shout out to y'all for that. But make sure to give this video a thumbs up. We begin our Big 12 in 30 days later this week, man. So make sure to tune in and go back and check out our Big 10 in 31 days that we just wrapped up for the month of March. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. But for myself, for the Blue Bloods, and the 2-minute drill, we are out.